7-2.
Ooh, baby.
Well,
Baby.
it's a tie in the second game. However, since you won the first game, it looks like you won the show today. Now, the best possible number, that is the lowest possible number, would have been 24,577. That's 24,577. Yeah. Looks like you won the first prize, which is a load of bricks. The second prize is 2 bricks shy of a load. Well, that's all we have time for. Congratulations to the winner, and that's it for Bahoo County.
Mr. DePinna doesn't know he's on our hidden camera.
I got a headache. I tell you right about now, 6 overweight elephants are playing soccer with my eyeballs.
It sounds like a data headache.
I got a data headache.
Too much information and no way to organize it.
I was driving my cab, see, minding my own business when... BAM! I got hit from behind by a truckload of numbers. Gas, repairs, parking, tickets. I almost went through the windshield.
Will you try a pie chart?
A pie chart?
A quick, easy way to organize and display data.
I'll try it.
Pie chart. Just one of the many tables, charts, and graphs available to you anytime, anywhere. When in doubt, chart it out.
Hey. The elephants are gone. I feel fantastic. The pie chart put all those numbers in an organized form, and now, for the first time in my life, I understand all my costs.
Will you use pie charts in the future?
Does the chicken have lips?
Oh, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
You've already seen this much of Square One TV. How much do you figure is left?
Sooner or later, you're gonna see some math. You can count on it. Sooner or later, those numbers cross your path. You can count on it. You may be hoping it'll go away, but let me tell you, math is here to stay. You can count on it. Woo! Yeah, you can count on it. Everywhere you look, they're measuring the action. You can count on it. Woo! Yeah. Everywhere you look, they're even using fractions. You can count on it. They keep the time and they're keeping the score. They draw the line and they're running the score. You can count on it. Woo! Yeah, you can count on it. Look at the dial. Look at how far. Look at how much. Look where we are. Look at the gauge. Look at the graph. Check out the numbers. You got the last laugh. 'Cause it ain't mystery. There's nothing tough about it. You can count on it. That's right. You're gonna see that you couldn't live without it. You can count on it. Woo! Don't take a genius or a great magician to make a pretty good mathematician. You can count on it. Woo! Yeah, yeah, you can count on it. Woo! Oh, you can count on it. Woo! Baby, you can count on it. Down, 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 yeah.
Warning. When trying to solve a problem, it's a good thing to remain calm, cool, and collected. Remember, if you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, you'll be the only kid in the room with ears.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was morning, 8:43, and hot and sunny in Los Angeles for that time of year. The sunburn index stood at 9 and the wind chill was not a factor. We were working the day watch out of MathNet. We were in hot pursuit of the problem of the absent ape. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. A series of weird crimes had been taking place in the greater Los Angeles basin. A gorilla who had escaped from the zoo had been robbing local merchants. They were tired of it. We were tired of it. We decided to look at a couple of scenes from yesterday's show to get us up to speed. When you're trying to solve a problem, it's always a good idea to go over your facts. Make sure you're on the right track.
Now on this map, the scale says 1 inch represents 2 miles. The first robbery took place 3 inches away from the zoo.
3 inches represents 6 miles.
Right. Could a gorilla have traveled that far?
We determined that gorillas can travel 10 to 12 miles an hour at top speed, and the elapsed time between the robberies was 5 hours. By multiplying 5 hours by 10 miles and 12 miles, we determined the gorilla could have covered 50 or 60 miles. When a gorilla named Grunt was found to be missing from the zoo, its young friend Jane came by to help us. Jane was convinced that her friend Grunt wouldn't have committed the robberies. She said he couldn't have traveled that far that fast.
But Grunt's an old gorilla. He's out of shape.
Did he smoke?
Jane told us he couldn't be that far from the scene of the last robbery.
1 inch represents 2 miles. I set the compass at 2 inches. I say he's got to be right in there somewhere.
Jane told us Grunt loved pizza pie. Then the phone rang.
Thank you. We'll be right out. Excuse me.
What's that?
The location of the latest robbery.
Was it?
Uh-huh. He just knocked over Balboa's Pizzeria.
What did he get?
All the money and 3 large pies to go.
Yes, sir. You guys want to call the... You have time. Thank you. Kate, this is incredible. I've got reports on 7 different robberies that took place early this morning. Everything from store robberies to home break-ins.
Uh-huh, me too. Me too.
I still don't think it could be Grunt.
Don't feel badly, Jane. Here's a report on something he didn't take.
Oh?
He broke into a home in Bel Air and took all the jewelry, silver, and money, but he left one thing. Season tickets to the Rams games.
You've got to believe me, everybody. Grunt couldn't have done these awful things.
But why not? They all took place between midnight and 4 a.m. and all within a 2-mile radius of each other. Certainly he could have traveled that far.
But what you don't know about gorillas is they're very shy.
Shy? Hold on there. You're talking to a mathematician who has seen Bonzo Goes to Washington more than a few times.
But that's my point. All the Hollywood movies and television show gorillas as killers. They're not.
What do you mean, Jane?
Gorillas are gentle animals and very shy. They hide from people.
Obviously, you haven't seen Woodland Hills Cop, where this orangutan swings out of the opera house.
Gorillas only become fierce when they feel threatened.
Jane, the evidence is overwhelming.
And here's something else you haven't considered. Gorillas need a lot of rest, and according to your own reports, Grunt has been robbing stuff for about 18 hours straight.
Maybe he feels he's on a roll.
Gorillas spend at least 14 hours a day sleeping.
That's more than half a day.
They have to renew themselves. Grunt couldn't have gone that long without sleep. You have to believe me.
MathNet Monday. Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. Balboa? Really? We'll be right out.
Was that Sly Balboa, the movie star?
No, it was Pie Balboa, the pizza czar. Thinks he's got something. Let's roll. Pie Balboa said he found what he thought was some evidence in his kitchen and wanted us to come back to take a look. When you're solving a problem, you have to look at every possibility.
I think he left these. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir, Mr. Balboa. The gorilla came through here and left footprints in the flour.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I seen him last night. I just figured they're my brother-in-law's or something.
Those aren't gorilla footprints.
Well, they ain't my brother-in-law's. Hey, I checked it out.
How can you tell, Jane?
Because there are only 2 sets of footprints here.
How many feet did Grunt have, Jane?
That's just it. Gorillas don't really walk on their hind legs like they do in the movies. They walk on all 4s. So there'd be sets of 4 prints.
Maybe you should talk to my brother-in-law. I'll call him.
Besides, the stride of a gorilla is about 30 inches. These look more like a man made them. About 36 inches. Uh-huh.
How do you know so much about gorillas, Jane?
I read a lot and study. When I grow up, I want to be a zoologist. You know, study animals and their behavior.
Hey, yo, Sylvester! Come on down. I think I got a job for you.
Look at this, Kate.
Martha baking again?
Found it near the footprints in the pizzeria. Pie Balboa said it was one of the pies Grunt swiped.
What are you going to do with it?
Thought I'd run it through the lab, you know, to see if they'd get any info to help us.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe check to see if Grunt had an overbite, something like that. In Woodland Hills Cop, they use dental records to see if...
What are those?
These? Anchovies.
Ew, gross. Grunt hates anchovies. He never eats pizza with anchovies. He only eats extra cheese with green peppers.
That's my favorite, too.
Hello, Mass Matters.
Got something?
Uh-huh.
Another robbery?
Yes, but this one is a little different.
How so?
Look. He just robbed a market in Huntington Beach. It's one of those Abel Baker supermarkets.
Martha shops the one in our neighborhood. I'll ask her to stop.
Look at this, Kate. Huntington Beach is almost 40 miles away from these other robberies.
How much time did he have?
The call came in at 10:01 this morning. The last one was at 4 a.m.
That's 6 hours. If he moved at 10 miles per hour, he could have gone 60 miles.
But he can't go that fast. He hasn't had any rest. He couldn't have gotten there.
We understand how you feel, Jane, and we know it sounds impossible, but theoretically, he could have made it.
No way.
It would have been tough.
What do you mean?
Traffic in Orange County is terrible at that time of day. MapNet, frankly. Are you sure? What time was that? Uh-huh. Was he out of breath? I see. Then it must not have been he. Thank you. Crime in Entlease.
What?
Our gorilla was spotted at 10:05. He was picking oranges in the backyard of a house on Scenic Drive in that new project. You know, the step development in Hollywood Hills? The lady yelled and the monkey left.
Now, there's no way one gorilla could be in two places at the same time. So what does that tell us?
Grunt has an accomplice.
George, we're dealing with two gorillas.
This is a reducing ray. How tall are you?
6 feet.
Then if we let 1 inch stand for 20 feet, a 6-foot person would be 3/10 of an inch.
Janos Proketzian.
Does the name ring a bell?
I know who it is. Janos Proketzian is the man who gave Grunt to the zoo.
100% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the U.S. Department of Education, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, and the Carnegie Corporation of New York.
Corporate funding is provided by IBM. At IBM, we believe education is the key to the future. We are pleased to help support Square One TV as an innovative way to introduce young people to the exciting world of mathematics.